Hey guys, so today I have swatches of the Cirque Colors Facets 2019 collection. There are 5 polishes here altogether. These are a holographic flake kind of finish. Cirque has done some Facets colors in the past. I think do they do one every year? I feel like they do one every year. I could be wrong about that, or at least recently. So 5 polishes here altogether. I will link the website down below because these did release on July 24th, and I will get into the swatches. So the first polish is Crushed Ice. I'm gonna read some of the Cirque descriptions for these colors. So this is just described as a silver scattered holographic nail polish made with sparkling holographic flakes. So there's no base color in this one. This has a lot more dense of a flake than the other polishes because you're trying to get all your coverage out of those flakies with no base color. So there is one coat. You can see it does cover pretty well. Obviously some space in between the flakes. It's going to need a few coats to build up. And the formula feels really good on this as well. So this one does start to build up on 2 coats. I'm still going to do a third. I mean, it looks pretty good here, but I'm still going to do a third just to completely cover everything. Now, these flakies are not like what at least I've come to recognize as flakies. These are more of a really, really fine shredded glitter, so there is some grit and some texture to these. And you can get some pieces that stick up pretty far that are going to take a coat or 2 of top coat to smooth out. It's going to be the worst in this polish because there are so many more flakies because there isn't a base color. But they're definitely not those smooth, really light flakies that we're used to, at least that I'm used to calling flakies. So this one does cover completely in, whoop, making a mess. This one does cover completely in 3 coats. Now with removal for this, because it does dry a bit more textured, it was definitely more difficult than your average polish, but not as difficult as a glitter. I don't know if you can see some of these really large pieces here. Those stick up pretty far. More than 1 coat of top coat could completely smooth out. So it's not a huge deal with this silver one, but they really stand out when you have some of the polishes that have the colored bases that we'll get to. So if you really don't like those, I've actually been taking some really fine pointed tweezers and kind of plucking those out as I come across them just to help the polishes that have the bases smooth out a bit. Like I said, they don't really stick out too much in the silver. Well, they'll stick up, but they don't like visibly stand out. So that is 3 coats of Crushed Ice. The next polish is called Citrine, and Cirque describes this as a golden yellow jelly with sparkling holographic flakes. So here is 1 coat. Again, much less flake in this one because you also have a base color. Not too little, but just obviously less. Good formula on this one. It does cover pretty evenly, just sheer. It's going to take a few coats to build up. So this one does start to build up a bit in 2 coats. This is another one that is going to dry slightly textured on its own, and then you'll have like really textured spots with those larger pieces. And it does dry a bit dull, so you're going to want top coat to smooth it out and to add that shine back. So this one does cover completely in 3 coats. It actually covered pretty well on that 2nd coat for being a yellow jelly. And it does get a little bit deeper on that 3rd coat. So that is 3 coats of Citrine. So the next polish is described as a lime green jelly with sparkling holographic flakes. This is Peridot or Peridot. Not really sure. I tried to look up some YouTube videos and they are completely split down the middle with comments and thumbs up and thumbs down depending on how the person pronounced it, with everyone telling them they're an idiot for pronouncing it either way. So we're just gonna let you guys argue over that. So the first coat of this one is a bit sheer. It is a jelly base, and good formula on this as well. So this one does start to build up in 2 coats, and you can see that color goes a little less olive and a little more lime once it starts to build up. It looks pretty good here, but there is just a little bit of nail line showing, so I'm going to add a 3rd. And again, it does dry dull and does dry a little bit textured. So this one does cover completely in 3 coats. You can see that 3rd coat builds up that base even more. So that is 3 coats of Peridot or Peridot. Like I said, you guys can argue. So the next polish is called Tourmaline, and Cirque describes this one as a bright pink jelly with sparkling holographic flakies. It's definitely coming off more red to me, like a little bit pink leaning, but red. So this one isn't a jelly base, so it is a little bit sheer, but it is a pretty saturated jelly base. You can see a little bit of nail line and good formula on this one as well. So this one does look pretty good on that second coat. I'm going to take a good look at it because I think it's probably going to be good in 2. Yes, this one is good in 2 coats. I can't see any nail line peeking through. This does dry dull, so you will want top coat to add that shine back. So that is 2 coats of Tourmaline. And the last polish is called Amethyst, and this is described as a deep purple jelly with those holographic flakes. So this one is also a little bit sheer on that first coat. Not terrible though, because it is such a deep color. And good formula on this one as well. So this one does cover completely in 2 coats. You can see that second coat deepens the color. And this one also does dry dull, and you will want top coat to smooth those flakes out. So that is 2 coats of Amethyst. So I don't know if it's because I don't feel like I'm in a fall mood, but I have like some fall collections coming in now, so maybe I'm like leaning a little bit more fall-ish, but Citrine is my favorite. I think this is the one that stood out to me the most out of all of them. Now I did have the issue with these of the flakies. I don't know if I would call them flakies, because when I think flakies, I think of those really flat, really smooth holographic flakes. Maybe I would refer to this more as like a really fine shred, because you do tend to have those kind of sharp, not like the polish is gonna cut me, but like just like they stick up a little bit. The top coat doesn't always smooth them out. They just seem a little jagged. I did have a few issues with those. I think in just about all of the polishes. I noticed it the most in crushed ice, but that's only because this one has more of the flake in it, because it doesn't have a base color, so you have to have more flake to compensate and like kind of meet in the middle with the same opacity. So it makes sense that this would have a little bit more. So that is something to be aware of. I don't think it's the absolute end of the world, but it can cause them to feel a little bit more rough than you would expect from a flaky polish. So those are the Cirque Colors Facets 2019 polishes. Again, I will link Cirque Colors down below where you guys can check those out. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you later. Bye.